Good morning. My name is Marshall Anderson, and I'm with Grand Falls WoodWorks. I'm trying to get this poll thing off of my screen, but there it goes. So yeah, I'm one of 3 owners here at Grand Falls WoodWorks, and we've been in business for just about 2 years. It was about 2 years ago to close to this time. We worked for a larger manufacturer in Wood Lake, Minnesota, and they kind of came on hard times and stopped paying bills, and several of us continued working there for a couple of months and tried to take care of our customers and get the product they were ordering while the company was essentially going down. And eventually we realized we weren't going to get paid anymore after working for a couple of months without pay. And we kind of got together, and the business that we're focused on right now is a solid wood countertop business. And the 3 of us that own this company actually started that division of business within that company. So I was the lead salesperson. My co-owner Rob was the plant manager, and my co-owner Jeff was the head engineer. So we were very familiar with that business, and all the customers knew me really well. So we just kind of put our heads together and decided that, hey, we could take some of our retirement money and buy some of this equipment and continue on with this business. So we started working on that very quickly and talking to our customers and getting commitments from them that they would follow us if we were able to start up a company and get equipment and continue on with the orders that we had. So that was, we got up and running back in, it'd be April would have been our first month in 2019, and we managed to keep our customers happy and start a growth plan. And then of course 2020 hit, and the normal business attributes of traveling and all that, which I did, visiting customers, doing training sessions, obviously all changed, and we just kind of stuck together and fought through it. And obviously there was some programs to help the companies like ours, which business actually we were able to take advantage of, but it basically became a survival mode. And what is going to come out of this, and how do we move forward? So here we are in 2021, and we actually made it through the year 2020 by doubling our sales, which is, and we just survival mode, and we're facing it in the obviously the pandemic and everything. Started off companies in the obviously the pandemic and everything, and we have some really big opportunities to grow, and that's probably what is going to come out of it. So here we are in 2021, because it seems to be the most difficult thing is to understand the right path of the economy we were facing this month, and we have some big kind of where actually get employees in here. We really haven't hired any full-time employees. We have really just, that's part of the hump that has been the most difficult, because workman's comp and payroll taxes and all that, and just being able to fund that and still have enough sales to cover everything. So with that being said, I'll just kind of give you a little rundown of what we do here. Like I said, we specialize in solid wood countertops, but we're a fully custom wood products company. We do have a storefront and a showroom, mainly my office where I'm sitting in right now. But we do, I shouldn't say we do a fair amount of business locally, where people can walk in and buy custom furniture, stuff like that. That's not really what we want to do, but we kind of open that up because of our location and being downtown Granite Falls. And so we're kind of changing a little bit in that aspect, and making other products, and trying to figure out if that's the right thing for us to do as well. But We work mainly with cabinet manufacturers and countertop fabricators that actually have showrooms and show other granite and quartz and laminate countertops. And we sometimes can get our displays in there or samples in there, and the designers then sell our design, and the order comes to us and we manufacture it and ship it out to those guys who install it. We're not really an installer or installer, or we don't do any templating or measuring. We just are a manufacturer basically. So let me see here. So yeah, I think I'm not sure what to say after this, I guess.
Marshall, if you want, we could, do you want us to move into Q&A?
Yeah, I guess we can.
Okay. So for people that have questions for Marshall, you can feel free to type those questions in chat, or you can use the raise your hand function in Zoom and we will call on you so you can ask that question. Marshall, if people do type their questions in chat, we'll still have them read them out loud so that the people joining us via Facebook Live can hear those questions. Marshall, one question I had to get us started. So I know that some of the cabinet manufacturers in that region, they did a lot of work selling cabinets to manufactured home building companies, like Schultz and the other one over in Redwood Falls. Were you able to retain any of that business?
It was not. We did do some of that business at Archon, and I did visit with those guys. The accessory business that we used to do was very difficult to get back into because of the closing of Archon WoodWorks and how that all happened. Everybody had to scatter and find other resources to do those things, and they kind of stuck with that. So I've stayed in contact with those people, and we've been working really hard. We have gotten qualified with some large OEM cabinet manufacturers again, and that's kind of one of the, I guess, one of the other wow statements that I put in, the application was we did get qualified with ASCO cabinetry, and we are starting to ramp up to manufacture some finished moldings for them, which, if everything goes well and we can handle the capacity of it, we will be able to probably double our sales again in 2021 and probably put a few full-time employees in our shop. So that's a little bit of diversity that we're excited about getting into it, instead of just being completely tied to the countertops. As you can see from the slides, we can make just about anything. It's just a matter of finding, the right market and the right customers to be able to sell it to, which that's essentially my job and what I've been working on the last 2 years with this company.
Awesome. Yvonne, I'm trying to help share some of these slides that I received of some of Marshall's products here. If you can help call on any questions that are coming up, I'm not able to see those as I'm sharing these slides.
I'm looking at chat right now. You answered my original question, which is, a little bit about who your target market is. As I'm looking at these products, though, these seem like they're beautiful. It looks like you could do, lots of different things. Your main target market that you described was, you're selling through the designers and the folks who are doing, home construction, right?
Yep.
These other products, these more, consumer items, the cutting boards and the, smaller things like that. Where are you selling those right now?
Yeah, really just locally. For instance, like we have our own laser, and that's the cutting boards and plaques we sell mainly right out of this store here. And really just around the holidays is where our peak is with that. We try to just market a plaque sale around Christmas time or Thanksgiving to Christmas time. Mm-hmm. And we do sell quite a few of them. We sell a few here and there, but we've never really successfully found a place to actually, you know, sell them online or sell them in any other retail setting.
Okay. Do you have an e-commerce store?
I don't. We just got a website built late last year, and we really just work through social media with Facebook and Instagram, and
Okay. So
which we get some through there too as well.
Yeah, so currently if someone sees these and wants to buy them, they either have to come to the store or they contact you through social media to place an order?
Correct.
Okay. And that might be something to think about, is, you know, having some of these items in an e-commerce store. And you might think about, since you have things that might appeal to different audiences, you know, having different websites for those things. You know, you can take the same template for a website, copy it, you know, and give it a completely different name, completely different look, and appeal to a different target audience. So like cabin owners, you know, I could see a lot of that's beautiful stuff for really nice lakeside cabins. You could do like a cabin owner e-commerce website, you know, that shows all your products for people who are planning their and dreaming of getting their cabin set up in the spring here. But that's just a couple of ideas. I see in chat we've got, have you reached out to your small business development center in the Marshall area?
No, I have not.
Okay. There's a couple of SBDC folks that are on the call. We could talk about the benefits of that. Completely free. They usually have a marketing person on staff who will sit with you and help you with things like talking about the e-commerce sites and domain names and all that stuff. It's completely free, which is really neat.
I believe that one's based out of SMSU, correct?
Yeah. There's Liz Struve and Christine Fisher out of the Marshall office are great. And then we've got a couple folks in the South Central SBDC that are here today, Gary, and then one of our organizers is Matt. Sarah has a question or a point. Go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry, Gary, I didn't catch you.
That's right. You know, Marshall, Yvonne gave quite an overview. I definitely would encourage that they generally, I know the one in Mankato, the SBDC, I mean, I can't speak to the one in Marshall, but if they don't have marketing services, we have several marketing business consultants that you could have access to that could look at your channels and give you some advice. So I think, again, those are free and you can get a targeted person to work with you. So if Marshall can't do that from a marketing standpoint, you can even though you're outside the region, ask for services. Just go online to myminnesotabusiness.com and you'll can apply for services.
Okay.
Sarah had a question for you. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yes, Marshall. I was curious if you guys have ever thought of or doing like do-it-yourself classes. I know some of those are kind of bigger in the area, whether it's like personalized cutting board or they send you like some kind of saying and they could come in and burn it or paint it or whatever it is. Have you guys ever thought of doing those, or is that something that you guys would be interested in doing?
I guess we would probably be interested, but no, we haven't really thought of it. You know, since the company closed that we worked for and we started this company, it's been just, you know, feet on the ground running. And, you know, I spent my whole day communicating with customers and quoting products, and my other two co-owners spend their whole day in the shop making sawdust. So it's just been kind of a whirlwind, and, you know, we haven't had time to really focus on any of those things, which is kind of why I was interested in this. So
cool.
Awesome. That's great. I will say I heard at one point there was somebody in the area that was going to do like an epoxy class that you could choose your color that you wanted, like in a table or a cutting board, and then epoxy. Sure. And I have been waiting for them to do it, or somebody to do something to that, because that sounded so fun to me. So if you guys ever do it, you definitely have me.
Sounds good. Epoxy is very tricky.
Angie, you had a comment for Marshall. Go ahead, Angie.
So Marshall, a quick question. Have you ever, do you have customers coming in that ask to have, like, say, grandma's cookie recipe engraved on the cutting boards?
Yes, we do. Yeah, absolutely. And that, I mean, that's kind of the hard part of marketing that, because we have a large custom laser with good software too. So we can take just about anything somebody wants. You know, I put a few in that slideshow where people wanted family or a family name on there. But yeah, it's essentially just a Corel Draw software where you can do the artwork in there, and then usually what we do is people will come and sketch it on an order form that I have, and then we draft up the artwork and share that with them and allow them to make changes to fonts or the size of what we're doing, and then we just put that on a cutting board or a plaque. But yeah, I mean, options are endless.
I could see you pitching that to, say, a winery or a brewery for a charcuterie board with their custom logo.
Sure. Yeah, I was in that slideshow. I had a Valiant Vineyard wine box that I designed. We made that for Full Throttle. So we did tap into that market for a period of time, and then it kind of disappeared. And years ago, I tried to do more of that, but I haven't in the last couple of years.
Lindsay, why don't you go ahead? You had a couple comments.
Sure. Have you considered having a booth at the Minneapolis Home and Garden Show?
You know, I did years ago when I first started in sales with ArtCon, and we've kind of talked about, there's a few other local shows around here that our local casino does a arts and crafts show. But no, I guess to answer the question, I haven't thought about it in the last couple of years.
Okay. I went to it in 2019 because we were doing some remodeling with our house, and I just thought that would be a good venue for people who are doing something with their home, you know? They're active buyers. To add on to the class idea, you could maybe offer it through your community center. And so that might do some of the heavy lifting and organizing and promoting it. They would do that, and then you would offer the class. And then I was just thought one last idea, when you guys are talking about the engravings and like the cutting boards, like the smaller items, like that would be maybe a good idea to sell that through like an Etsy shop. Because people, I don't know, I just like that would be a great channel for smaller things you could ship pretty easily, or maybe even bigger stuff, because they would pay, you know, you could do it so they pay.
Yeah, I have looked into Etsy, and we used to have an eBay store. I think the thing with Etsy that I struggle with is people are selling, you know, handmade products on there for a lot cheaper than what it costs us to make them. You know, it's one thing if you're doing it on the side as a hobby and selling it, you know, out of your garage or something, but when you have a full plant with overhead, it's kind of hard to justify selling a cutting board for $10, $15, you know. But I have thought about it again.
Yeah, I think if you found the right audience, they would be like, wouldn't look twice at a price like that. You know, they'd be like, oh, that's great. It's exactly what I want. I'm willing to pay more, you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
Gary's got his hand up. Go ahead, Gary.
Hey, thanks. And Marshall, I apologize. I had to step away. I've got a repairman here, so I missed a little bit of your presentation. But it seems like, and I thought I'd heard you mention like, you know, custom home builders. It seems to me that you just don't want to have, you know, the small projects you mentioned about being in furniture, but really that's something you're just kind of doing local, that you really want to do the countertops and the bigger house projects that Ryan had shared some slides with. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, correct. I mean, we're still trying to find the right identity and what we want to do as far as a product offering, and you know, that's been difficult. But we set up to manufacture solid wood countertops, and you know, we started with the customer base of that, and we kind of morphed into a full custom wood shop where, you know, people come in and ask us to make covers for drains in their home, or mantles for their fireplace, or even you'll see some chairs and benches that we make, and that's not really what we're set up to do, but we kind of invited that because it was business, and we just wanted to grow our business.
And so what I'm looking at then, with that, it just seems to me there's going to be just a bent up feeling of people when we get through COVID here and the vaccines are starting to flow, to look ahead and look for those avenues. If I would think, I don't know about in your area, but people might be looking to go back to the parade of homes idea, where people, realtors want to get people out there, okay, and they want to connect with people. So I would look for things like that and kind of be ahead of the game and get to your custom builders that might be a part of those, or go to your realtors and say, are you planning, when things break here in the summer, have a parade of homes, and make sure you have some products in those homes. Secondly, you mentioned about the winery box, which are really cool. I got to believe the wineries, they're going to be looking to explode out here. So get ahead of the game and say, hey, winery, here's some things we can do when you're ready to go and start open up, having some events, have some of those products that I think need to focus on and say, here's what we want to push. We do want to get into the furniture, or we want to get in the boxes, or we want to stay on items for a home. So I think a little bit as things build up, get your focus. So when we come out of this thing, you've got a plan to get on that focus and not be kind of scattered. Would be my suggestion.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We really focused on growing the counter, even during 2020 without travel. I did a lot of cold calling through the internet, and what I did is I looked in different regions for fabricators and places that sell countertops, and we managed to I think we sent out about 80 sample sets to different showrooms, from New Mexico down to Texas, all the way to Tennessee. And some of that has generated more business for us and allowed us to, stay focused on what we wanted to do. But you got to get back out on the street and go face to face and visit these people and educate them about our products. And that's what's been difficult, is a lot of our customers current customers' showrooms were closed and have remained closed, and besides appointment only. So trying to find the right time when people are willing to accept that again has been very difficult as well, because some people travel and visit people, and some people don't think that's the right thing to do. And I'm one of them people that I just don't want to offend people. This pandemic, people have many different ideas about what it is and how to live through it. So that's kind of affected sales, I would say. But we've been able to continue to promote and educate our current customer base and grow them, which is basically what I've been focusing on.
I have a resource for you. Betsy Bonema out of Wilmer. She has a business where she does what she calls Reinvention Workshops. She helps businesses to kind of rethink, like how they're marketing and stuff and what they're doing in the COVID era. So in addition to the free help from the SBDC, that's another one I'll send you a link to.
Okay.
You might think about a student intern for marketing. I was just talking to a group of marketing students, and they are eager for a real world experience that they can put on their resume and show that they've actually helped a real business and done something real, that they, not just a classroom project. And there's a number of opportunities for that kind of thing through the universities. You can reach out to me for Minnesota State, but I can give you some contacts at Southwest, Gustavus, some of the other colleges to, find those kinds of contacts.
Okay.
Any other comments from the group? Any other suggestions or help for Marshall? What an interesting business.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
I like the idea of the marketing help. If someone else actually saw everything we did, it'd be a different, fresh set of eyes on what we're capable of doing and how to market it better.
I really think the idea, when you have the kind of business that you do, I really think the idea that other people mentioned of, thinking about some kind of video You were talking about going around, talking to clients, telling them what's special about your products. Taking a camera into the workshop where they're making sawdust, as you said,
Sure.
you know, and making little 1-minute clips of that and showing little things that you as craftsmen know makes your product better. Like the time that you take to do coatings and the time, you know, sandings and all that kind of stuff that makes the product a little better quality. Showing
Sure.
little snippets of that might be one way to do what you normally would do in person, right? Where you show stuff off and you say, look how neatly this is done, you know? Cool. Oh, Gary, Gary, would you also, whatever question you're going to ask, would you also ask our 1 million cups question at the end?
Sure. One quick one, and just suggest, I know you mentioned about social media and marketing your furniture. I recently remodeled our master bedroom, bathroom, and we wanted some custom wood cabinets, kind of a rustic style. We found some through online through Instagram. Thought, man, that's what we want. And the guy was in Kasota, a little town just by Mankato. And this guy, as I learned about him, he markets and stuff, and he sells most of his stuff on the East and West Coast, because people, I think Lindsay referred to this, they're willing to pay, and so he's pushing product all the time out. So, you know, you don't have to just be out face to face to be successful.
Sure.
If you want to get in that furniture venue, and he kicks out vanities and tables and so forth, and he's got quite a business. So, and the other, just to finish on, we kind of hit a lot of different areas, but just to summarize, what do you feel our community, 1 million community, could 1 million cups community do for you to help expedite your business?
Well, I certainly already appreciate everybody's comments and questions. It's been good to engage with some other people, you know, about our business, and I think maybe that's something that I need to continue doing instead of, you know, spending all my time in my office working on stuff. I'm interested in other people's stories on how they were able to grow their companies. You know, we knew what to do, how to do our jobs and work, but we didn't know how to run a company. And we're figuring that out like toddlers right now, to be honest with you. And we have business and we have customers, we have revenue, but you know, you open the door and you don't know which way to go. And I'm just interested in other people's experiences with that mainly.
Yeah, to that point, and we've had multiple entrepreneurs come up and they talk having a tribe, or some people call it a board of directors, informal board of directors. Identify some people that, you know, have related maybe businesses, or I mean, we've got a woodworker that does stuff in St. Peter with epoxy, a furniture builder. He's just niching on furniture, and source those people. Most of the entrepreneurs are willing to, you know, kind of share what's working for them. So if you can identify some people around and periodically inform and say, hey, what are you doing about marketing? What about your website? What do you find that's work? And step back, I think you would get better traction than just head down and working hard in your office.
Sure.
Gary, may I just follow up on that? I'm familiar with Eddie Allen there in St. Peter and a number of other ones. In your business, I used to be a timber buyer for guitar manufacturers. So I was looking for the very best of the very best, the fiddleback and curly maples,
Sure.
that are the rare ones, the very rare breeds. And that's why I'm wondering, what are you using for your product? Are you using any hardwoods, or are you in the softwoods?
Yeah, it's mainly hardwoods. And we won't source, if we can source it, we'll make it. But it's mainly the domestic hardwoods like walnut and maple and hickory. Every once in a while we get into some exotics like African mahogany and teak and bloodwood, but our main three species are walnut, hickory, and maple. They seem to be the most popular. And if you kind of follow the kitchen design trends, you know, everybody's getting painted cabinets with dark countertops on them, or vice versa, they're getting light countertops on dark color paints, I should say, different color paints. But yeah, mainly hardwoods is what we work with.
Well,
thanks.
the good news is that you're heading in the right direction, because I know about 10, 15 of the sawmills or the smaller companies that have rolled over in the last 5, 10 years and are getting into manufacturing like yourself. And they all are that have started up and are doing this, like Eddie Allen and St. Peter, are doing better every year. So good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're not alone at all, Marshall. All of us that have businesses, we all build the plane while we're flying it, you know. And that's what's great about, that's one of the things I love about 1 Million Cups, is that ability to come together, kind of talk with other entrepreneurs, and know that there's other folks that will talk to you. I know there's a bunch of people on the call here that would be happy to follow up. So everybody, let's give Marshall a round of applause using reactions, or you can wave on the screen to him and give him some applause. Thanks a lot for your presentation. We're going to move along so that we have plenty of time for our next presenter. Sarah's going to put up the screen.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Oh, all right. Okay. So I am Bethany Knabb, and I own Stella+Poppy here in Granite Falls. I started out in 2004 just making soap. I have been a truck driver for about 28 years. I guess I quit about 2 years ago, but I had fallen out of the back of my trailer, hurt my back. I'm not really good at sitting around, so I started reading books. That was before a lot of internet and computers, and so I got into soap making. And needless to say, I have not been able to put it down. Every time I create a bar of soap or a block of soap, something different and magical happens. And so I started in a hog barn on my property, and it was the best probably smelling hog barn in Yellow Medicine County. I have just slowly grown my business to the point where I was doing craft shows and a little bit of online, and a little very small wholesale with just some local retailers that were willing to give me a shot, I guess, back then. And it slowly grew. I think I got braver as I've gotten older. I didn't really believe in my products as much as I probably should have right off the bat. But luckily, I've had a lot of people that did believe in me. And so from my little hog barn, I started filling that up and running out of room. And I finally decided to take the jump, and I moved my business into Granite Falls. I rented a little dry cleaner building that I thought was going to be huge, which within probably the first 6 months I had filled that up, and was already starting to look for a new building. With my soap making, I've had a lot of people ask for different products. If you make soap, they want to see candles, to see room sprays, lip balms, anything that goes with bath and body. And so I've really tried to do that. And once I moved into Granite Falls, my main focus was going to be wholesale. I thought that was going to be the easy way out, maybe. I have spent many years in a truck by myself, so doing wholesale and being able to just sell on the internet sounded like a really good thing. However, Granite Falls is a really wonderful community with wonderful people, and I had more than a handful of people upset that they couldn't come into my store and buy. So when I was in the dry cleaner building, I kind of split it in half and started with a little retail area, and then had my workshop in the second half of the building. Then I ended up having people coming in wanting to, the red hats. I had the red hats numerous times, wanting to come in, have me put on a soap making class. And my mother and I did we did a luncheon for them and whatnot, and that started bringing community together. And I just, at that point, I knew I needed a bigger space because I really wanted to, of course, I learned that I love retail. I love visiting with customers that come in that have sometimes special health issues, skin issues, that type of thing, where natural soap is very helpful. And I wanted to bring the community in as well, where people could come in and tell me about their problems and that type of thing. So once we found a building, we purchased a building on Main Street, which pretty much quadrupled my business within about 6 months. I have grown to a point where I didn't even imagine this could happen. Because now I have the space to do my wholesale as well as my retail. I'm finding different problems, like how to balance those both out, because I really have a good customer base. Generally, every week I've got about a split of 50% of new customers and 50% of return customers. And then behind the walls, I have wholesale going out, and we're right about 65 stores right now that are selling our products in the United States and Canada. And we just kind of keep growing, but one of my problems I'm having is that my other half, thankfully, has dropped what he was doing, and he's helping me make candles and soap and whatnot. But I do it all. I do the retail. I do the designing of all of my labels, my boxes for my soap. And right now I know my online presence is terrible. And that's one of the things, I just don't have time to do it all. And listening to Marshall, I think they have the same problem. You get spread pretty thin, and of course, to make money, you have to make product, and other things get set on the side. And that's one of my biggest problems that I'm having. I don't know what else to say either, I guess.
Well, that's great, Bethany. Wow. I love that your business was named after your dachshunds. So
yeah.
cute. Well, and considering
I was wild when so.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, considering you say you don't have much time for marketing, your slides are beautiful.
Well, thank you very much.
So questions and referrals and suggestions. I could see Kate, I could almost see the wheels turning with you, Kate. Did you want to share and say something? She said in chat, I love the eco-friendly aspect of the business, growing your natural supplies, recycling the jars.
Yes, sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I love that. My business is Cabin Number 4. I do t-shirts for people who love exploring the outdoors, and that's a big focus of my business. So of course I'm attracted to that being part of your business also. So congratulations on that, and thank you for your contributions to keeping our world safer and healthier.
Thank you. It's been that is one thing that I kind of left out. We have tried, and of course with COVID, it's really been helpful. We try to, we sell refill bags for our atmosphere mists, which are very, very popular here. People can use them anywhere in their bedrooms, and anywhere in their home, their vehicles, whatnot, but we sell refill bags. We also give people the opportunity to bring back their cleaned out jars, which generally they're not usually cleaned out, but we still will give them 25% off another item with their purchase. So I think it's really saved us with COVID, because I'm still waiting on a huge glass shipment that I ordered in June. And so people bringing back containers really helps, but I also offer to fill any vessel that will hold wax for 95 cents an ounce. And so we really, we have a lot of people that bring in their grandmother's teacups, beer cans. We do a ton of beer cans. My other half has figured out how to safely get the lids or the tops off of beer cans. And so we can fill your favorite beer can. And we try to reuse and recycle as much as possible. And of course, that just is another aspect of keeping us really busy. And that's probably one of my hardest things, because people don't generally have a problem with asking for more. They want this, or they want a different scent, or they want so many different things. And I have a very hard time saying no. Of course, you want to keep your customers happy, and you want to make money. That's what we're trying to do here. But of course, we're here generally 7 days a week, and it gets to be a lot. So I'm trying to learn how to build my business up without going further out, if that makes any sense. And that would be another problem I have.
Angie Francis has a question for you. Go ahead, Angie.
Have you thought of marketing to bridal venues, doing gift bags, gift baskets?
I have not. That would be a really good option.
I have a wonderful connection with a gal in Waseca that owns a wedding venue, an event venue, and they have a bridal suite. Your soaps and candles and mists would be a wonderful addition to her bridal suite.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Do you ever have requests to engrave your soap?
I have not.
Okay.
I suppose that would be a nice thing, especially for bridal. You could put their
Absolutely
names on that. That's a wonderful idea.
I might also be able to help you with that as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I will take anything I can get.
One of the beautiful things about 1 Million Cups is, this possibility of partnerships, right? Like thinking about how your business might tie together. I was thinking about Kate's, with the t-shirts, could you do a package of, t-shirt and some of your products for outdoor women, women who really see themselves as outdoorsy and athletic? Are there elements of your product line that you could see kind of meshing with that? So I would advise you to go check out her website and reach out to Kate and see if you guys could come up with some sort of a, thing like that. She's great at collaboration. Who is it? The Circle, Jenny, is doing like an outdoor fair, somebody mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Jenny's doing another outdoor fair this weekend at the Circle in the heated tent. She assures me she's going to post the temperature of the tent on Friday so she can show that it actually is warm in there. But yeah, I would be interested in talking about that, because I think especially stuff like lip balms and things like that would be really good for those of us who love exploring the outdoors. I think about this time of year and how dry the air is and all of that kind of stuff. So if you're interested, I would love to connect. I'll shoot you a message with my contact information.
Wonderful. Yes. One thing that I would think that right off the top of my head, I make magnesium.
We lost sound for Bethany there.
Yeah, I think her computer.
Bath Flakes.
Oh,
and am I back?
Yep, you're back.
Okay. I don't know how much you heard, but
We lost you at Magnesium.
Okay. I make magnesium bath flakes. They are not only scented with sweet birch essential oil, but sweet birch essential oil is something that the Native Americans used for pain relief. And it is one of my best sellers. I make the magnesium flakes, and I also make a magnesium body butter, which for yogis, they love it. Women that are going through menopause, pregnant women that can't sleep because they're so uncomfortable. It's all of us are so lacking magnesium. And so that would be something that I would think of right away for somebody that is outdoors, that is hiking, biking, jogging, running type thing.
Cool. Lindsay, you have a couple of comments to share. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just thinking, Inspire Bridal is a they're opening up an event venue in New Ulm, and I know they're always open to new vendors, and maybe you could have a booth for one of their expos or something like that, and you could have like a wedding theme, kind of, like the other person said, gift bags and stuff like that. I don't know if you've heard of Living Earth Center in Mankato. They're an organization focused on sustainability through education classes, and they may be interested in promoting your products since you grow your own herbs and you recycle. I don't know, I would reach out to them and just talk to them about your product, and maybe they even have connections for you, because that's a really interesting, unique aspect of your business that sets you apart from someone else making soap. So, you know, focus on that and try and grow those connections would be my advice.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Other suggestions? Everyone can feel free to, you know, put notes in chat for Bethany. Bethany, if you might want to put in chat your email again, just because the slide's gone. And then if someone wanted to, they can make a note of it and reach out to you by email. Same thing, Marshall, if you want to put your email in chat, then people can grab it right now while the ideas are hot, and and they can remember to send you a note and follow up.
Sorry.
So would one of our organizers like to ask Bethany our famous 1 million cups question?
I'll do that. Bethany, as the 1 Million Cups group, what can we do for you as a community?
Well, you already have done so much in a very short amount of time. Yeah, of course, networking would be wonderful. That is something that I just do not do. And Linda has been very good about coming here and knocking on my door and saying, you need to do this, you need to do this. But I have a heck of a time stopping what I'm involved in and doing it. And I probably need somebody to light a fire under me and say, just stop making for 1 day a week. Which even that, how do you allocate time just for certain parts of your business? Because I feel like I'm spread all over the place, and usually it's I lose track of where I started and where I ended.